The Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your man RoJay holding it down for you. Told you, gonna be checking in with my man Siergio for the Takeover tonight for the Love Offer. We're discussing his new album, Before It's Too Late. For the rest of the show, it's finally out. The album is finally out, Siergio, man. How do you feel?
Yes, the album is finally out and I feel good. I feel blessed to have this moment to share my art with people because I've had people waiting for a while, to get this project, and I, in a lot of ways, it don't feel real, so I still gotta, I gotta sit in this moment and really just let this moment become a reality for me because there's so many things that were stopping me from putting this album out, but now that it's out and people, it's no longer mine, It's everybody else's. It's up for everyone to make it whatever they want to make out of it, To listen to certain songs and relate to them and to cry to them and to hurt and to smile and to laugh and just have their experience with each song. So I'm just excited that the album is yours,
As far as the space you were in artist-wise, what was different for you while building this project?
The space that I was in when I was creating this album was a very interesting one, just because I had been single for a while. I think that before, let me make it clear, before I even record a record, before I do a project, I gotta experience what I'm about to sing about. To me, it's so important for me to be authentic in my own journey and then be able to turn it into art just so that it reads better, so that people can feel me, even if you're not in the room with me, I just want you to feel me. And I think that with this project, my experiences in this project, I gave myself the allowance to feel, just to experience love, even if it was temporary or if it was just something that wasn't mine per se. I allowed myself to just be a person who fell in love with somebody that wasn't theirs, found somebody that loved me and appreciated me for all of me, and not only that, just wanted to see me win. So you hear those things in the records, when you hear Speechless, you hear that feeling of love that you never really think that you're gonna find, and in a lot of ways you can't find the words to express it. Or with Clothes On, I do a lot of me facing myself, because I can say I'm difficult in expressing what I feel to somebody, because it's just how I've always been. I've never really thought that anybody would listen to what I have to say. So I think I created a culture within myself to keep it to myself. With this album, I really, really faced my demons. I faced my challenges. I faced the things that was before me, my lust, my sins, all of that. So yeah.
I'm interested to know how you usually come up with the album titles. Is there a particular story behind Before It's Too Late?
That's all my creative director, RK. He heard all 80 songs that I recorded for the project, and he comprised this list of 13 songs that he was really, really connected to. And I grew to be that kind of artist, to kind of let go a little bit, because I do a lot of different things, I wear a lot of different hats with my music. And just to give it to somebody else and be all right, now turn this into something, And he did that, and when he heard it, he said, it feel like it could be somebody's first album, a brand new artist, just that you've never heard of, because it feels like a birth of something. He said, but in a lot of ways, it also feels like it could be somebody's last project. It could be I'm trying to express something to you before, if I never get a chance to speak to you again, before it's too late, I just want you to know. And it was crazy because that was my experiences, especially during that time. That was my experience in love and just my situationships and things like that. I felt in a lot of ways that, if I lose this, if I never get to speak to you again, I want to tell you where I'm at. And it took me a long time to get to that space to be able to express myself. And this album is me expressing how I felt in all of those ways in the last couple of years. So that album title, he came up with the album title and it hit so close to home. Honestly, I had chills when he told me. I'm like, bro, that's crazy, because it's how I felt. In a lot of ways, I felt that, I have to get this out, because what if this is the last time somebody will ever hear me sing again? What if this is the last time I'll be able to tell somebody that I love them and I may not see them again? So yeah, that's the album title.
So you've always been super confident when dropping projects as far as the sound and direction. Something feels different about this one for sure. Now the presentation seems even more bold and even the visuals stand out more. What lessons have you learned from the previous projects that make this project the one that no one can sleep on?
I learned a lot of different lessons, especially when I think about my first project, just where I was. I think in a lot of ways I was trying to give people what they want. I thought that if I presented myself in a certain manner, that it would bring me this attention. I remember my sister came to me and she was like, you ain't gotta do that. You could just be yourself. And I believe that when she said that to me, the world began to open up for me in a lot of ways. And I continued to learn that with This Will Hurt, I was in such a blue space. I was such it was real cathartic for me, like healing. Like when you lose somebody, you go through a breakup, that's a crazy feeling. So I think that the blue reflected that. But with this project, I didn't need a color, or I didn't want a color to define it. And I wanted the visuals to be bold, and I wanted them to be confident because I feel closer to myself than I've ever felt before. I have done a lot of self-work, and I look at myself now and I say, you are enough. And I think that when I told myself that, everything became so clear to me that people want you. They want who you are to shine through on all levels. So I'm excited about all the visuals from this project because they've given me the chance to really, really open up about how I see things. You know what I mean? Like my vision, just even how I present myself. And I'm so overwhelmed with the love and support because I can tell that everything feels different. I've realized how to budget money better this time. I've realized how to go work with different directors and things like that. I've learned how to just deal with people and just collaborate, in a lot of ways. So I'm just happy that the project is being well received visually because that's so important for me. The album cover, it low-key went viral on Twitter and just all over different websites and things like that. And that's what I wanted because I wanted people to know that when I was laying on that sand, it wasn't just me laying on that sand just trying to be sexy or nothing like that, whatever. I was laying on that sand just to give myself all of me in its rawest form.
Listen, we're not done. We're gonna dive deep into this album before it's too late with my man Siergio throughout the show. So you guys stick around. We got some things to talk about. Keep it locked. I got more on the way. The Inspiration Station. Works for 94.5 FM. My man Siergio with Switching Up off his album Before It's Too Late. Hanging out with me tonight on the Love Offering for the Takeover, man. Siergio, let me know about Switching Up. What's the deal with that one, man?
Switching Up is one of my favorite records, and I'm super excited about it. I like the feel of it. To me, it gives an R&B, Tame Impala type feel. Huge fan of theirs. And it's my song to my fans just because I know when they hear that song, they hear different sounds on the project, they're going to think like, oh, this is much different than I ever got from him before, much different than This Will Hurt, much different than Songs for the Jeep. And I think that it was important for me to step outside myself and to create a record like this just because it feels like a festival. It feels big. And also it tied into another scenario that I had where I just wanted the person I was talking to know that, I'm not going to be behind your back doing this and doing that. Like, I'm all for you and I'm with you. So you're never going to catch me switching up, acting up. So, yeah, that's that joint.
We have more on the way. Definitely got to keep it locked right here. The Inspiration Station. Worship 94.5 FM. The Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Probably my favorite record. I ain't going to say probably. It is my favorite record from the Before It's Too Late album. Siergio, Lie to Me is a record. It's a record. I need to know the story behind that one.
Lie to Me is a big R&B record. It's one of those ones that you hear and there you just hear the talent. I think that I bare my soul on that record. I recorded it. It was the only song on the project, or even any song I've ever done where I did it in one take. I literally freestyled the first verse and then the chorus, and then I freestyled the second verse and the chorus, and then I freestyled the bridge and the last chorus out. And that was all I did. I did those takes. I never redid it. I didn't punch anything in. It was just one of those records where I wanted to feel real old school. I wanted it to feel like back in the day when you couldn't do all the trickery and all those things that are gonna make you sound amazing. I just wanted to be raw with it, just because it was a raw topic. I was in this, this situation where I was talking to somebody, and of course we were serious because there was love there, but they felt a little bit more it's only us than I did. And they asked me, and I had been with somebody else, and I was like, yeah. Because, I try to keep it real, I try to be honest. Because to me, I just feel like lying just adds to more and more lies, but I said yes, and it really broke their heart, and I felt their pain. So I got in the studio, and I was like, what if I flipped it and I became the person? What I want to hear the truth or what I want to hear the lie? And I decided, and this is my truth, I don't even want to know the truth, to be honest with you, because honestly, I don't think humans really want to hear the truth, because who wants to feel pain? Who wants to feel disappointment? I chose to never really, you could tell me your truth, but I really prefer you just don't tell me, especially if we locked in and we invested. People make mistakes. And I think that was one of those records where I was able to kind of feel what they felt, and I really decided, I'm like, whatever you do, don't tell me the truth. Don't tell me, just lie to me, just let's fix us, let's come back stronger than ever, but just lie to me, because I don't even want to know if my suspicions are real, And yeah, Lie to Me is just a special record. I think that the whole album is special, but Lie to Me, to me, is the most Grammy. I keep feeling like a Grammy, and I hope that it lands in the right hands.
It's been on repeat for real for me since it dropped, so I'm feeling that one for sure. Listen, guys, we got more on the way. Keep it locked right here, your Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. My man Siergio, you off his album Before It's Too Late. I definitely know there's something more to that record, something that I need to know about. So what was your experience like with that particular record?
You is definitely one of my favorite records from the joint, and honestly, it was really truly me just turning trauma into art, because a lot of people don't know, before I moved to LA, I had 3 scenarios where I had 3 restraining orders processing against 3 people. I had my car getting scratched up, I had my car windows getting busted, my tires getting slashed, and multiple rental cars that was damaging those. I had people showing up to my house, beating on the back of the door, just popping up just in different places that I was, and threatening me in a lot of different ways. And I spent a lot of time in court, and after I was able to kind of process it all, I was like, I got to turn this into a record. So a lot of people watch the Netflix show You, which is about this crazy guy who's stalking his girlfriend and this girl that he wants to fall in love with. And I made the record around that, and I said to myself, well, what is it about me that draws people to kind of get obsessed and lost in? And I rationalized with people that was doing that. And I love that record because I got to play a role, and I got to kind of reflect on what people might see about me that might make them, go a little crazy. And yeah, I like the record. It's just real chill, but it feels like a murder mystery. It feels jazzy. It feels soulful. It got a little thump to it. To me, the record is all that.
Got a little more time with my man Siergio. You guys got to keep it locked right here. Your Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Speechless by my man Siergio right here. Your Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM. Listen, we've been jumping into this album Before It's Too Late the whole night. That record right there is definitely a gem off the project. Is there anything in particular with that record that you were feeling or you were experiencing when you crafted that one?
Speechless. What a beautiful record. I work with Jory in Atlanta. She's one of the most amazing singers. I've been knowing her since we was younger in Atlanta. We used to sing covers together, perform around town together. But I knew that with this album, I wanted to get a record with her. I wanted to create something that felt timeless. Something that felt like nothing even matters. Something that felt like spend my life with you. Something that felt like those records that you would hear, that male and female energy. And it was just all about I don't know, it's just that closer I get to you type, And there's a lot of Anita Baker references. There's some Stevie moments in there. And I really wanted people to feel what I felt first time I met somebody that made me feel in ways that I didn't have nothing to say. I didn't know what to say about this. I'm like, yo, what? You see me, you hear me, you wanna be here for me. And I was left speechless. This record is really timeless. And I'm proud to say that I created a record that feels like R&B unapologetically.
It makes me love the record even more right there. All right, listen, we got a little more time on my man Siergio, so keep it locked right here, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. More love offerings on the way for you right here, your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. That one right there, Complicated. My man Siergio from his album Before It's Too Late. Now you gotta tell me the story. What like the experience behind this record?
Complicated is definitely a fan favorite. And I believe that it's a fan favorite because I believe that we've all been there before. In particular with me in that situation, just imagine that you meet somebody and you feel that they're your person. You feel that they're everything that you ever really dreamed of. You know, just dating out there is difficult. It's hard in a lot of ways because, you know, we all can meet somebody, but just meet somebody to make an everlasting impression. I think that's different. And with this situation, I felt that way and they felt that way. But just the way the universe was set up, they would go and find love with somebody else. And that was hard for me. And usually it's never really hard for me because it's just like, yo, it didn't work out, it's cool. Bye, I'm good, next. Move on, you know what I mean? But with this situation, it's just something that I'm still trying my best to, you know, separate myself from. But that's feelings. That's what we sign up for when we decide to play this game of love with our hearts and our feelings. And yeah, I'm really excited about that record just because I think it'll get me that much closer to healing. And I think that's what music is. It's healing.
We got more with my man Siergio on the way. You guys keep it locked right here. The inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your inspiration station, Worship 94.5 FM. Your man RoJay up and out. My man Siergio with the takeover tonight. Appreciate you sliding in and just giving us these backstories behind these records to the album Before It's Too Late. Let everybody know what they can look forward to from you for the rest of the year.
I'm super excited about everything coming this year. You guys can expect me to be performing way more. I'm planning on touring this project. I'm planning on hitting up the big cities, the small cities. I think it's important with this album, especially for me to reach different markets and just to get out there and share the experience of these songs with you guys. I love more than anything performing for people, and I'm really, really ready to do that for you guys. It's gonna be new music after this album. Now that you guys have this album, I'm gonna have a deluxe version of it. I'm gonna have a live version of it, and I plan on releasing other projects as well. I have different things that I'm working on. Some things I can't really talk about, but I just know that now that you guys have me, I hope that you know that there's no sign of me letting up. There's no sign of me disappearing. And this year and the next year will all be Siergio. So we're looking forward to sharing this experience and this ride with you all.
And before we get out of here, let them know where they can connect with you online.
You guys can connect with me at Siergio, Siergio, on Twitter, on Instagram. My official website is SergioWasHere.com. And you can buy my merch, you can stream my album, you can buy physical copies of my album. You can also check me out on Tidal, on Apple Music, on Spotify, on TikTok, everywhere you can get music, SoundCloud. You can find me on AudioMac, everywhere. As long as you spell my name, Siergio, you can find me. I'm always out there. I'm very interactive with my fans. To me, that's important to have that type of relationship with your fans because, you know, they're my family. You know, in a lot of ways, they keep me fueled up and they keep me going. So, new fans, I'm looking forward to you guys joining me in this crazy world I live in. But no, I'm excited to share my art with you all and, you know, just follow me and just stay connected for everything that I have coming.
Once again, I appreciate your time, my brother. You guys, I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. I'll be back tomorrow with more. So much to give you for the rest of the week. So yeah, be sure to support my man Siergio, his new album Before It's Too Late, available now on all digital platforms, okay? Be sure to love yourself, love one another, and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow night right here on the Love Offering, Inspiration Station, Worship 94.5 FM.